All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into Jasper AI for marketing.
Sounds good.
And we're going to be looking specifically at the marketing materials on their website.
Okay.
So, we're getting kind of the sales pitch straight from the source,
Yeah.
but that also means we're getting like the most complete picture of,
Yeah.
what they're about,
Absolutely.
what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a crash course in like, is Jasper all it's cracked up to be?
Yeah. Yeah. I think what's interesting right off the bat is
Yeah.
they're very focused. They're not just saying like, hey, we're another AI tool.
Right.
They're really leaning into this idea of being like built for marketing success.
Right.
And I think that's an important distinction because,
Yeah.
you see a lot of generic AI tools that are kind of like, oh, we can do everything.
Right. Yeah, we've all seen those. And it's like, how much can they really
Right.
understand the nuances of marketing?
Yeah, exactly. There's a certain level of skepticism there.
Yeah. So Jasper's big thing, their value proposition is this AI platform that's, all designed to accelerate our impact and ROI, specifically for marketers, right? But let's unpack that a little bit. Like, what does that actually look like in practice?
Yeah, so that's where I think things get a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
They break down their platform into kind of like a few key pieces.
Okay.
First, you've got Jasper Studio, and this is all about like creating custom AI apps and workflows.
Okay.
So you can think about it as like plugging AI directly into like your existing marketing tools.
That's interesting.
Automating a lot of these tasks that take up a ton of our time.
So less time, tweaking spreadsheets, more time for like the actual strategy and creative stuff.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
sounds appealing.
More high-level thinking.
Yeah. But what about the AI itself?
Yeah.
How do they make sure that this is actually producing, quality marketing content?
Well, they talk about this thing called the Marketing AI Toolkit, and this includes things like AI chat, which is, for like brainstorming and idea generation, AI document and image editing.
Okay.
So it's really like a whole suite of AI assistants, all kind of trained specifically for these different marketing tasks.
So they have like specialized models, essentially.
Seems like it, yeah.
Right.
And then they also talk about this thing called RAG layers, which I don't know if you've come across this before.
I've seen that term. I don't fully understand it.
It's a little jargony.
Yeah, it's a bit technical.
Yeah, RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Okay.
And so the way I understand it is like most AI, it just kind of spits out text based on its training data, right?
Right.
RAG layers mean that it's actually pulling in extra information.
Okay.
So that could be like your brand guidelines. It could be data from your CRM.
Okay.
To make sure that the output is actually relevant to your specific needs.
So it's not just like generic marketing fluff. It's actually drawing on like real context.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that could be huge for personalization and making sure that the AI actually understands, your brand's voice.
Yeah, and I think that's a key point, right? Because
Yeah.
one of the things that's always been a challenge with AI is making sure that it aligns with like what you're actually trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like RG layers are kind of a step towards addressing that.
It's making it less of like a separate tool that you constantly have to like tweak and adjust, and more of something that's actually like integrated into a marketer's workflow.
Right, and they also have this concept of a trust foundation.
Okay.
Which seems to be all about kind of addressing those concerns that a lot of businesses have about, data security and all that.
Right, because AI can be powerful, but it's also, it's got to be trustworthy, especially when we're talking about like sensitive customer data and all that.
Exactly.
So what are they doing to kind of build that trust?
Well, they talk about things like enterprise-grade security, which is kind of table stakes these days if you're dealing with any kind of business data.
Right.
But then they also have this interesting concept of being LLM agnostic.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that term.
So LLM stands for a large language model, which is basically like the brains behind the AI, right? Okay. Being LLM agnostic means they're not tied to one specific provider.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Right.
Which makes sense in a world where AI is moving so quickly.
Yeah, because who knows what the best technology is going to be in a year or two.
Exactly.
So they're able to kind of adapt as things change.
And I think it also adds a layer of security, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if one provider has issues or, something happens.
Right, they're not stuck.
They can switch to another LLM seamlessly.
Okay, so it's about flexibility and kind of future-proofing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it sounds like they're thinking not just about the AI itself, but like the whole ecosystem and how it integrates with a marketer's work.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. It's starting to feel less like a tool and more like a platform. And to kind of prove that they're not just talking the talk, they actually break down their offerings by specific marketing roles and even industries.
Wow.
So they've got solutions for, content marketers, performance marketers, product marketers, you name it.
So they're really trying to cover all their bases here.
It seems like it, yeah.
It sounds like they put a lot of thought into, how different marketers work and what kind of AI support they might need.
Yeah, definitely.
But I guess the question is this all just a clever marketing ploy? Or are they actually delivering on these promises?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah, so I think we need to dig a little deeper into those specific solutions and see what they've actually got.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm particularly intrigued by this marketing AI toolkit.
Okay.
They make some pretty bold claims about its capabilities, so
Yeah.
let's see if they live up to the hype.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so let's crack open this marketing AI toolkit and see what we're actually working with here. So one of the first things that jumps out is this thing called the marketing editor.
Okay.
Which they claim is like the only AI document editor that's been trained specifically in marketing best practices.
Interesting. A bold claim.
Yeah, pretty bold.
I mean, there are a lot of AI writing tools out there these days.
Oh, sure.
What makes this one stand out besides, just the marketing focus?
Well, they talk a lot about understanding brand voice and style guides, which is obviously, crucial for any marketing content.
Right.
It's not just about churning out words. It's about sounding like your brand.
Yeah. Consistency is key.
Totally.
Especially when you've multiple people creating content,
Right.
AI could be really useful there just for keeping everything on brand.
Yeah, it takes a lot of pressure off the human editors.
Right. Exactly.
Lets them focus on, more the higher level stuff.
Yeah.
And then you've got Jasper Chat,
Yeah.
which is kind of their take on this whole AI assistant trend that's happening.
Right. Everyone's got a chatbot these days.
Exactly.
But what makes Jasper Chat specifically for marketers?
So they position it as this brainstorming partner.
Okay.
It helps you come up with ideas, write copy, even execute tasks, all within the context of marketing.
Okay.
So instead of just asking a generic chatbot, hey, help me write a blog post, you're asking a marketing expert.
Interesting. So it understands the goals and the strategies
Behind the content.
Yeah, that could be pretty powerful if it works as well as they say.
Yeah, it's about having an AI that speaks your language,
Right.
understands your challenges,
Yeah.
and can actually contribute to the process.
That's a high bar.
And it is a high bar, but
Yeah.
it's it's an interesting concept. And then for those of us who are more visually inclined,
Yeah.
they have this AI image suite, which is for editing and transforming images.
So what kind of stuff can you actually do with this image suite?
Well, you can imagine resizing hundreds of images for different social media platforms in seconds.
Yeah.
Or instantly changing the background of a product photo
Okay.
to match your brand colors.
So it's not about creating images from scratch like some AI art generators do?
No, this is more about efficiency.
Yep.
It's about automating all those really time-consuming
Right.
visual tasks that marketers have to deal with.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that being super helpful for social media managers especially.
Oh, absolutely. And then things get really interesting with their AI app library.
Okay. Hit me with it.
So this is a marketplace of pre-built AI apps specifically for marketing tasks.
Wow. Okay.
And they claim to have over 80 apps, which is a lot.
That is a lot. What kind of stuff are we talking about here?
It's pretty much everything you can think of,
Right.
from writing blog posts,
Mhm.
crafting email sequences,
Okay.
generating social media ads,
Yeah.
even video scripts.
Wow. So it's a specialized AI tool for every possible marketing need. Yeah, that's the idea. That's impressive if it lives up to the hype. Right. That could be a game changer for marketers who are, juggling a million different things.
Absolutely.
And they just need a quick way to generate high quality content.
Yeah, and they have some really intriguing examples. There's a blog post app
Okay.
that promises to create SEO optimized content in minutes.
Really?
There's an email sequence app that can personalize a series of emails to nurture leads.
So they're really trying to automate, those common marketing tasks.
Yeah, put it all on autopilot.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
It does.
But even if it's not perfect,
Right.
even if the AI isn't perfect,
Right.
it could still save a ton of time.
Oh, yeah.
You could use it as a starting point and then refine it,
Absolutely.
to fit your specific needs.
I think that's the smart approach.
Yeah.
It's not about replacing marketers. It's about giving them superpowers.
Right. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
So let the AI handle the heavy lifting. And then, the marketer can focus on the strategy and the creative direction.
Exactly.
Okay, but before we get too carried away with like all these amazing possibilities,
Right.
let's step back for a second and look
Okay.
at some real world examples.
Yeah.
What are marketers actually saying about their experience with Jasper?
Well, that's a good question. And luckily, they have a bunch of customer stories on their website
Okay.
from companies of all sizes across different industries.
Okay.
So let's dive into a couple of those.
Yeah, let's see what people are actually saying.
Yeah.
So we've been, really digging into Jasper and what it can do for marketers.
Yeah.
But, got to have a little reality check here too.
Right.
What are some of the potential downsides?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important to remember that, AI is still a tool.
Right.
It's powerful,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not magic.
You can't just like throw a bunch of data at it and expect, perfectly crafted marketing campaigns to come out the other end.
Yeah, you're not going to replace your entire marketing team with Jasper.
Right,
At
exactly.
least not yet.
Not yet.
So there's definitely still that human element required.
So what does that human element look like in practice?
I think it starts with, really understanding your goals and your strategy.
Oh, really?
Like, what are you actually trying to achieve with your marketing? What message are you trying to convey?
Mm-hmm.
And then once you have that clear vision,
Yeah.
then you can start to leverage AI tools like Jasper
Okay.
to help you execute that vision more effectively.
So it's more of a partnership.
Exactly.
The AI can handle some of the heavy lifting, like generating copy or resizing images,
Mm-hmm.
but the marketer is still the one, steering the ship.
Yeah, making the strategic decisions.
Right.
And I think another important point is you still need to, review and edit the AI's output.
Okay.
Don't just blindly trust the machine.
Right. They can be perfect every time.
Exactly.
Even the best AI can sometimes, miss the nuances of language or create content that feels a little generic or off-brand.
Right.
So marketers still need to be, discerning editors
Yeah.
and not be afraid to, make changes.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the quality of the content itself. There are also ethical considerations to keep in mind.
Okay.
For example, you need to make sure that you're using AI in a way that's transparent
Yeah.
and respectful of your audience's privacy.
Right. We don't want to creep people out with hyper-personalized ads that feel invasive or anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's about finding that balance
Mm.
between using AI to enhance the customer experience,
Right.
but also respecting their boundaries.
Okay. What about on the more technical side of things? Are there any concerns there?
Well, I mean, like with any technology, there's always the risk of, glitches
Right.
or unexpected behavior.
Things breaking down?
Yeah, so I think it's important to choose a platform that has, a solid track record of reliability and good customer support.
Yeah.
And it seems like Jasper is trying to address those concerns, with their focus on enterprise-grade security and that LLM agnostic approach we talked about.
Right. So if one AI model has issues, they can just quickly switch to another one
Exactly.
without, disrupting the whole platform.
Seamlessly.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
But I imagine even with, the best technology in the world,
Yeah.
there's still going to be a learning curve.
Of course.
So how can marketers make sure that they're actually getting the most out of a tool like Jasper?
I think it's really about, investing the time to learn the platform,
Okay.
experiment with different features, and figure out how it best fits into your existing workflow.
So, be patient, be curious.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way.
Yeah, it's a new tool. It's a new technology. So you
Mhm.
got to be willing to kind of learn and adapt as you go.
But looking ahead, what do you think the future holds for AI marketing?
Mm-hmm.
Is Jasper just like a glimpse of what's to come?
Yeah.
Or is this kind of the peak?
Oh, I think we're just scratching the surface.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, as the technology continues to evolve, we can expect even more sophisticated tools
Wow.
that can personalize experiences, optimize campaigns, and, maybe even predict future trends.
So even more targeted ads that anticipate our every need.
Potentially. Yeah.
I'm both excited and terrified at the same time.
It's a powerful technology.
Yeah.
And like any powerful tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
Right.
So I think it's really important for marketers to be, thoughtful about how they're using AI
Mhm.
to make sure it's being used ethically and responsibly.
It's not just about chasing the latest shiny object. It's
Correct.
about actually understanding the potential,
Mhm.
acknowledging the limitations,
Yeah.
and using it in a way that benefits, both businesses and consumers.
Right.
It's a lot to consider.
It is.
Well, this has been a really fascinating deep dive into the world of Jasper and AI marketing. We've covered, a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
From the nitty-gritty features to the bigger picture implications.
Definitely.
Hopefully our listeners have gained, a better understanding of what this technology can do and how it might fit into their own marketing strategies.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts you want to leave our listeners with?
Just this, I think, AI is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately up to us, the humans, to wield it wisely.
Right.
So as you explore the possibilities of AI marketing, keep your values in mind, stay curious, and never stop learning.
Well said. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us.